Greetings, Judah. DFG Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, it's going to be a short video, but I just wanted to just take a moment and just to revisit something. I posted a video the other day about some things that were going on in Australia, and the concerns about those things. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, in the name of, good faith, I'm going to try to accommodate YouTube by not questioning their medical professionals, as they say. So I'm just going to expect you to use your own mind, your own critical thinking, and figure out some things for yourself. Okay? But in that video, there was some reactions to, that some of the people suffered. And it was really kind of shocking, surprising that particular reaction, you follow me, would be something that would have come up. HIV, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty damn serious, guys, if you think about it. And, a lot of people were questioning, where did HIV come from? Was that created in a lab, or did it actually come from monkeys, or whatever the hell they were telling us? And most people over a period of time were able to go in and research and realize that it had nothing to do with monkeys, that it was probably something that was created somewhere. And, however it went through, somehow or another, it started in the homosexual community and ended up now in our communities, So, it's something to remember, something to be thinking about, You start thinking about certain people who are involved in certain things right now. The person who comes to my mind is Margaret Sanger, the grandmother of Bill Gates and the whole eugenics movement. She was responsible for that. She was one of the founders of the eugenics movement. Her idea was to get rid of Negroes, Native Americans, so-called black people. And she felt it was in the interest of the Negro, or for the betterment of America, the betterment of mankind, to get rid of these undesirables. And so she conspired with others to come up with all kind of creative ways to sterilize our men and make sure that they could not reproduce. And she threw a few little retarded white boys in there as well, the incorrigible, as they call them. But mainly it was a program put in place, that could keep our populations down, keep our numbers down, and ultimately eliminate us through exterminating us. And the whole, if you guys are familiar with the Tuskegee experiment, that was a part of the eugenics movement. They won't tell you that, because syphilis was wrecking their asses for centuries, and they had no cure for it. So what they figured is, let's figure out how to go out here and get some of these sharecroppers. Let's go out here and let's get some of their top 10. That's how they'll do it. They'll go get the so-called talented 10 amongst our people, your preachers, your clergymen, your politicians, and they'll have them come out there and sell you on what's in your best interest, as though you're not intelligent enough to sort that out for yourselves. And that's what they have been doing. That's what they're doing now. But they were doing it way back then, almost 100 years ago, going to our community, separating that little group out, giving them a little, giving them a little privilege, giving them a little notoriety, putting a little extra money in their pockets. And they would set them out upon us, and they somehow or another, they would go out there and tell us what's in the best interest of us, because after all, that's what white Jesus would want us to do. And they're still telling us that right now. When some of our people say, I'm going to put my faith in Yah, they'll tell you, well, that's not what Yah said. Yah gave you common sense. Use common sense. Yah ain't got nothing to do with your common sense. He gave you a mind. He gave you a wisdom. It's not Yah's responsibility to, to come and save you when there's something already out there for you to save you. That kind of stuff, guys. Whatever. But they use these people for that. And that's what they did. They got, I forgot what they call these women, fly traps or whatever. They'll stick these women, what is a fly trap? These women who they put in at bars and stuff, where they know that certain prominent, men of color may go to patronage, and it's set these, prostitutes in there, and these women would entice these men, or these men would easily entice. I'm not going to put it all on the woman, because if you had any discipline, you'd know how to say no. Everything that looks good is not good for you. And surely Satan has his agents out there. And if you had the Rahuk in you, you would already be able to discern it. Why are you so interested in me all of a sudden? But I digress. But they will put these women out there. These women would entrap these men. And before you know it, they're extorting these men. And that's what they did with the Tuskegee experiment. They put these black nurses out there in our communities, and and these sharecroppers who didn't know too much about anything, just kind of believed that they were getting cured. That what she was doing for them was going to rid them of syphilis, when in all actuality, she was doing nothing for them. And there were white people, medical experts who were involved in this, and they intentionally did not treat these men. And from 1932 to 1972, they kept it quiet, and and destroyed a lot of, potential, life, because these men became sterile, and they passed this disease on to their women, and the women became sterile and not able to bear children, etc., etc. And I bring all this forward to you now because, again, look at the video from a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get caught up in trying to be any kind of medical expert, because I'm not. All right? I'm not a medical expert at all. All right? So you need to go do your own research. I did some research, and you can find out any information that you want to find out. Just go follow up on the channel. I guess that's one way you could do it. But again, my intention is only to get you to think, get you to step back and just connect the dots, and then make the best decision that you can make. And if you're not sure a decision, then go before Yah, ask him for wisdom. He will give it to you. You follow me? But, just remember, a lot of people who are coming at you, telling you what's in your best interest, don't always have your best interest in mind, guys. Sometimes these people are paid agents of a bigger agenda. And in more cases than not, unfortunately, that those agendas have almost always been detrimental to our people. So that being said, I just want to remind you guys, just refresh your memory, get you to think. We're in the winter now, and a lot of you are going to get cold, and you're going to get the flu, and a lot of you guys are going to, not quite sure, not going to be very comfortable in your decision making processes right now, and that's understandable. But just remember, in your decision making, just ask yourself some basic questions. You know what I'm saying? Is this temporary? Is it not? I've got a cold, and it was going away now. I've been dealing with it for about 2 weeks. And I call it just, I got the old fashioned cold, one that pretty much cures itself, over a period of time. And hell, I'm much better, still a little congested, but that's part of it. I just took the regular little cold medicine, and I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't go seek any professional help, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'll leave that alone, right? But, believe it or not, the old cold still comes, and the old cold still go away, guys. All right? Just remember that. But that being said, I just want to, again, just tell you, hey, there's some information out there, some things you need to be thinking about. And just remember, the eugenics movement is a real movement, guys. That's where Planned Parenthood came from. There is an agenda to eliminate, a certain ethnic group of people. You know what I'm saying? And that agenda has been going on since the days of Moses. You know what I'm saying? Yeshua. It's nothing. As Solomon said, nothing new under the sun. So, if you think that it's all conspiracy, then, okay. Okay. All these conspiracies now are turning out to be factual. The things that people would have 5 years said was conspiracy thinking, now people are saying, I'll be damned. Can you believe it? All right, so just understand, just because you might think it's a conspiracy, don't mean that you're right. And you better go back and look at facts and use your history. Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it, as the saying goes. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess Solomon against it. There's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end of it is the ways of death. Sometimes you think you're doing the right thing. Well, let me do the right thing by everybody, and unfortunately, it was the wrong thing. The consequence was detrimental. So every decision that you make, especially in this dark winter, of these evil days, these last days, please, please, please understand that, everything that you love, everything that you respect could be destroyed if you don't make the right decisions. Okay? And, and again, don't confuse one thing for another thing. It's called critical thinking. Weigh the matter out. Weigh it out. What that means is that think about the long-term, consequences of the decisions that you make, not short-term. Okay? Unfortunately, we've got Henrietta Lacks, the whole thing with her, what happened to her and her family. We got, medical apartheid, all those things that happened to our ancestors here, on Turtle Island. We got the Tuskegee experiment, things that happened, to our people, again, unfortunately, intentionally. So we got a lot of evidence, a lot of proof, a lot of stuff out there, guys, to really help you to connect dots from past to present, just to make sure that you clearly understand what may or may not be in your best interest. But again, I'm not a medical expert. So YouTube, I'm telling you clearly, I'm saying you don't have to tell me I'm not a medical expert. I'll tell you and everyone else who's listening to this video, I am not a medical expert. But I am an adult and I am capable of making my own decisions. I hope that's good enough for you. My brothers and sisters, again, it's a short public health announcement, for lack of a better, word, and just to remind you, at the end of the day, if it's to be, it's going to be up to you. Whatever happens, in these dark days, I'm saying, we were forewarned. Be aware. Be aware. There are many deceivers, false prophets, false teachers. And they're going to deceive many. All right? Don't be in that number. That said, guys, have a good day. DFG, talk to you soon. Bye now.